for CISC699. This is a discussion for containers. And for my project, I am using Docker. So I have the Docker file that is written out here. The first step that it does is it creates a Docker image that has already been created that is on Docker Hub called Node10. So there are two images here. One is for server and one is for the UI build. So for the UI, it's going to copy and paste all of the Angular artifacts, including the source files and the package.json, and then it runs npm install on it and gets all the dependencies built into there. For server build, it basically copies everything in the server.js, all the routes pack, all of the files inside of the routes package, and then config.js and package.json. All of these different things are related to AWS. Taskdev.json is for the Fargate task definition, and then we also have buildspec.yaml for build for the AWS code build, and then the appspec.yaml file is also kind of like a supporting artifact for this one. And then it gets the S3 bucket to save all the images, and then the webpack config.js is the one that minifies all of the JS files, and then it exposes port 3000, and then the final command is to run node server.js. So this is the basic setup for the Docker containerization of the application that I have built for this project. So the benefits of Docker, it ranges. So the primary difference is the isolation property that Docker provides. You don't have to worry about how your project would run on different environments, on different production or development or QA environment. You wouldn't have to worry about the dependencies and what key installments have taken place on those servers. So you would just containerize them and then deploy them. So as mentioned, one of the key benefits of Docker container is the isolated environment that it provides, and it's always consistent. There's no ambiguity here. If it runs on one machine, it's guaranteed to run on any other machine. So you would spend less time worrying about how compatible something is. And it's very cost effective. It's all open source. All of the Node.js or Oracle or MySQL environments that Docker builds is all open source. And anybody can run it. And Docker is very popular. Docker and Dockerization as an enterprise, it's very popular, and it basically can run on anything, literally anything, any kind of environment: Windows, Linux, Apple, Mac OS, anything can run Docker basically. And then there's a good amount. The scalability is great because especially with the Kubernetes or ECS, you can spin up however many containers you want, and based on the usage, it gets rid of some of the containers or adds more containers depending on the load balancing situation that you have in front of it. And then there's repeatability and automation, which is also another key benefit. You can easily automate Dockerization of your project. You don't have, most projects are built that way, so it can finally be Dockerized. And it fits very well with the evolutionary architecture, which is the microservices environment. Netflix basically is built around Docker and Dockerization of their projects, and minimal usage and API gateways and things like that can easily build in front of Docker. And then in terms of collaboration with the other microservices, as I talked about, there's high level of collaboration that you expect from Docker, especially with the exposed ports. These Docker containers can talk to each other and share information and it can also abstract things, make things very modularized, and access modifying capabilities based on authorization authentication can also be done very effectively with the Docker.